GamingBolt presents 15 things you need to know before you buy Super Mario Odyssey. Nintendo's Mario franchise is surely among the biggest brand names in the gaming industry. Since its inception over 3 decades ago, the series has gone on to deliver numerous generation-defining games across all genres, wowing people time and time again with its inventiveness and pure joy it never fails to provide. With Super Mario Odyssey, Nintendo is taking its flagship franchise into a bold and exciting direction, with a game design philosophy that seems heavily reminiscent of what we saw so many years ago with Super Mario 64. And the more we see and hear of Odyssey, the more convinced we become that we're in for a truly great experience. From new moves and beautiful new locations to new ideas and mechanics that we have never seen in a Mario game before, there's a lot to be excited about. Here in this feature, we're going to take a look at 15 of the most exciting features that have us hyped beyond reason for Super Mario Odyssey. Power Moons. Super Mario Odyssey is going to play with the Super Mario formula in interesting ways, and one of the biggest changes it is going to make is to replace stars with Power Moons. Rather than having stages and levels with specific objectives and tasks that reward players with stars upon completion, in Odyssey, there will be dozens upon dozens of Power Moons hidden in every nook and cranny of all of the worlds players will be visiting, and you will get them for all sorts of interactions within the game world. The Odyssey. Why exactly is Mario collecting all of these Power Moons, though? To power up his airship, the Odyssey. The Odyssey will be Mario's home in Super Mario Odyssey, and will be flying him across the world to different kingdoms and various locations within those kingdoms. This, of course, means that the progress in the game will be determined by how far your ship can take you, which in turn will be determined by how many Power Moons you are able to collect. Riding a Jaxi. The Odyssey won't be the only method of traveling in Super Mario Odyssey. While lion-like creatures known as Jaxis will only be found in particular areas in the game, the ability to mount them and ride them looks like a blast from the footage that we've seen thus far. Jaxis will be incredibly fast and strong creatures, and though they will be a little difficult to control, their speed and strength can be put to use against objects and enemies within the environment. CAPPY. One of the first things that comes to mind when we think of Super Mario Odyssey is, of course, Mario's new hat, the highlight among all of the new features that will be included in this new game. Much has been made of this already, and we can see why. Mario can use his hat for everything from traversal to combat. Players will be able to throw the cap and use it as a temporary platform for mid-air jumps, making for better mobility and more range in your moveset. But the uses of CAPPY go far beyond that, which takes us to our next point. Possessing stuff. Among the several new abilities that players will have at their disposal, thanks to Mario's new hat, the ability to throw it at your enemies and then possess them has got to be the most intriguing. Players will be able to throw Mario's hat at objects, enemies, NPCs, and various other things in the environment, and then take control of them, which will also allow you to use their unique abilities. That includes everything from Goombas and Bullet Bills to tanks and, yes, even an enormous dinosaur. We expect we'll be spending countless hours fiddling around with just this mechanic alone. 2-player co-op. CAPPY is definitely going to be the star of the show in Super Mario Odyssey, and that is apparent more than anywhere else in the fact that the game is going to have a full-featured local co-op dedicated to it. In co-op, while one player will be controlling Mario as usual, the second players will be controlling CAPPY. Both players will be able to move around freely, control the camera, and use their own moves, while Nintendo have also teased that Mario will still be able to control CAPPY in some ways. Given how the Switch's very nature makes it perfect for local co-op, we're incredibly excited about this particular feature by itself. Various outfits. We've become used to seeing Mario in his iconic red and blue clothes over the years, but as The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild did with Link's green hat and tunic, Super Mario Odyssey is going to spice up the plumber's wardrobe quite a bit. Players will be able to purchase different kinds of outfits from different locations, and while some of these will of course only be cosmetic in nature, many of them will also come with unique abilities that will allow Mario to reach previously unreachable places. It remains to be seen just how in-depth this particular mechanic will be, but as it stands right now, it definitely has us excited. Coins. Coins have been an integral part of the Mario series for as long as anyone can remember, and have even made their marks in a lot of the series' spin-offs, but it looks like they're going to be more important than ever in Super Mario Odyssey. Players will be able to collect coins as always, but there are going to be 2 kinds of coins this time around. The normal kind, and the one that is exclusive to each of the kingdoms. These coins can then be spent to purchase items and objects such as new clothes and hats, while collecting coins will also be required for the completion of certain objectives. No more lives. In a break from tradition, players will no longer be limited by a set number of lives in Super Mario Odyssey. So, yes, no more game over screens, no more lives, and no more one-ups. Instead, Super Mario Odyssey will punish players for lack of skill differently. Every time Mario falls to his death, rather than losing a life, players will instead lose 10 coins. In fact, even if you have less than 10 coins, you still won't see a game over screen. While it remains to be seen whether this will have a detrimental impact on how challenging the game can be, Nintendo have confirmed that they made this decision so that players will be able to immerse themselves in fully explorable worlds, which leads us to emphasis on exploration. After going with different approaches to game design with Super Mario Galaxy, its sequel, and Super Mario 3D World, Super Mario Odyssey is taking the series back to the exploration-based level design of Super Mario 64 and Sunshine. The game promises to have a number of worlds, as all Mario games do, and players will be able to explore them as much as they wish. Power moons replacing stars will be hidden throughout the game, so exploration is going to be encouraged, while looking around for countless little secrets and collectibles and coins is also going to contribute to that. Varied locations. Of course, exploration would be no fun at all if the environments the games puts you in weren't any good. Fortunately, that has never been a weakness of the Super Mario series, and it doesn't look like that's going to change with Odyssey, which promises to have a number of worlds with their own unique characteristics and charms. New Donk City will put Mario in an urban, metropolitan environment for the first time ever, while players will also get to explore snowy mountains, lakes, forests, deserts, and much, much more. Photo mode. While exploring all of these beautiful and lush locations, you're going to have plenty of time to stop and take in the view wherever you want. Super Mario Odyssey is going to have a photo mode, complete with a freely moving camera, various filters, stickers, and more. Photo mode has, of course, never been an essential feature for most games, especially one like Super Mario Odyssey, but given the exploration-based nature of the game and how vibrant, colorful, and charming it looks, we expect it to be a huge attraction for players nonetheless. 2D levels. While Super Mario Odyssey is indeed squarely putting the bulk of its focus on exploration-based gameplay, there's going to be plenty for the platformer enthusiasts and purists to sink their teeth into, bite-sized, side-scrolling 2D levels more than most. Odyssey will have certain 2D platforming levels hidden within its worlds, built and designed like classic 2D Mario games. And while it doesn't look like they're going to be long, full-fledged levels, the aspect of having these entirely different mini-levels within levels is exciting nonetheless. AMIIBO support. As is the case with most major Nintendo releases these days, Super Mario Odyssey is going to have full-fledged AMIIBO support, and aside from being cool collectibles, they will also give players special abilities within the game itself, such as invincibility, the ability to find hidden coins, finding hidden power moons, and much more. Sure, AMIIBOs aren't everyone's cup of tea, but for those who are interested, it's definitely something worth looking into. The little details. Super Mario Odyssey is going to be crammed full of details and secrets, and while most of these might entail some collectibles or hidden levels, plenty are going to be just about the audio and visual delight. For instance, Mario will shiver when he's in icy cold locations, dance to any music he hears in the surroundings, and other such things. Nintendo did excellent work with their attention to detail in Breath of the Wild earlier this year, and while expecting Odyssey to be on the same pedestal is a little unrealistic, we still expect to see some interesting stuff in this game. And that'll be about it for this one. If you guys like what we're doing at GamingBolt, please consider subscribing to our channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video.